It's a land where glowing mountains tower over the landscape, where rivers boil with leaping salmon. A last frontier where rugged individuals live life on their own terms, and the fishing is like nowhere else on Earth. Whether it's a brown bear feasting on a fresh-caught salmon or fishing through midwinter ice on a frost-rimed lake, in Alaska, there's adventure at the end of every cast. In Volume 1 of this series, we follow the seasons. First, a spring float trip for steelhead on the Seatuck River near Yakutat. Then to south-central Alaska's Cook Inlet to battle 100-pound halibut. Next, we stalk salmon runs, silvery Bristol Bay sockeyes, and world-famous Kenai River kings. We'll even join the fishing fun in Juneau's famous Golden North Salmon Derby. Then it's on to interior Alaska, home of hard-hitting northern pike. Finally, a fly-out fishing safari for rainbow trout in magnificent Katmai National Park. A sport fishing trip to Alaska is quite simply what you want it to be. Remote fishing lodges offer $1,000 a day fishing with luxury accommodations and gourmet dining. Or your lodging might be a bit more Spartan. For the angler, there's really no place on Earth quite like Alaska. It's a true fishing paradise. Join us as we take you sport fishing Alaska. The icy gray North Pacific lashes the coastline near the small village of Yakutat. This area just northwest of Glacier Bay on Alaska's eastern Gulf Coast is filled with myriad coves and bays, sheltered from the fierce seas. It's the 1st of April, and these die-hard steelhead fishermen are living their dream, an early season pilgrimage to Yakutat, jumping off point for a float trip down the Seatuck River. The narrow, winding river is lined with brush and deadfalls, residue from harsh winter storms. Runoff has yet to begin in earnest, and the water is crystal clear. John Babler and his longtime fishing partner, Ole Olinger, are veterans of Minnesota winters, so light snow cover on the river's banks is of little concern. Besides, their energies are focused on catching hard-fighting steelhead, beautiful sea-run rainbows now entering fresh water to spawn. This delicate shorebird, a yellowlegs, pauses in its search for minnows to watch them fish. Both John and Ole are knowledgeable fly fishermen. A combination of intuition and experience helps them choose effective fly patterns.
killer. That got secret. I shouldn't let anybody see that. Secret bait.
Early spring steelhead trout are notoriously shy and elusive. Even a slight disturbance will spook them. After covering the hole with a few careful casts, it's time to move to a new stretch of water.
Fish right there. Yep.
John casts toward the far bank and mends his line carefully, trying to avoid frightening any fish that may be lurking there. He knows the sound of gravel crunching underfoot is enough to frighten steelhead. Once in position, he tries several flies, changing patterns without leaving the water.
He's got a very big hook in it.
Finally, patience rewarded.
Only about an 8 to 10 pounder. I'll land it.
Battling a feisty steelhead on light fly tackle is one of angling's greatest thrills and toughest challenges. With the guide's help, John finally lands his silvery prize, handling it gently to minimize chance of injury. Carefully reviving this 10-pound steelhead before release ensures it will live to fight another day. Catch and release fishing is key to the survival of the Sea-Tuck's native steelhead runs. John understands, so he leaves with only a photograph and memories of a wilderness river and its wild steelhead. It's early morning, standard departure time for charters operating from the Homer Small Boat Harbor. Halibut fishing is productive along much of Alaska's Gulf Coast, and the Homer Halibut Charter Fleet is one of the state's finest. Today, these anglers are headed for the prime waters near the Barren Islands in the southern entrance to Cook Inlet. Skipper Peter Karwowski works in Homer's thriving charter business throughout the summer. He knows the prime fishing spots and the best techniques.
Octopus.
Octopus? Woohoo, wow.
If you ask him for angling advice, he'll tell you. The uglier the bait, the bigger the fish. Halibut fishing is not complicated. Simply drop the weighted bait to the bottom, tighten your line, then raise and lower your rod tip slowly to jig your bait near the bottom. Now all that remains is to wait for a strike. If conditions are right, you may not wait for long. It's common to have fish bite almost immediately.
Fish is up, Peter.
He's a speckled trout. Speckled trout.
Once a large halibut is landed, its tail is powerful and dangerous to all on deck. Experienced crews act to subdue them quickly.
That's cold.
Cranking a big halibut up through hundreds of feet of water is exhausting work.
Scoot over a little bit for me, Nick. Yes, sir. Alright. Another one about a little over 40 there. Can I get a picture of him with it there? There you go.
Wow.
There we go. Alright.
A periodic bait check improves the odds. It looks like something's been chewing on this codhead, but it's not always a halibut.
They're pretty?
All sorts of strange-looking creatures live on the ocean floor. Cook Inlet's daily halibut limit is just 2 per person, so it's standard procedure to let smaller fish go. How many places do you know where fishermen throw back 35-pounders?
Stay down a little bit.
Huh?
Stay down a little bit. This.
Too small. There.
In Cook Inlet waters, anglers might drop baits up to 400 feet to reach their quarry.
This is deep water.
Sometimes that leaves precious little line on the reel. The water is icy, but the action can be hot. These lucky anglers have hooked into 4 fish at once, a quadruple header.
Okay, ready? Jerk, roll hard, roll hard, jerk. I should shoot you, but I won't!
When several big fish come over the side at once, it keeps the skipper busy.
You want the club?
Here's Peter's version of halibut wrangling, Alaska style.
Yeah, this is your fish. Probably 90 there. Way to go. Hey,
Good fish.
yeah, beauty. We're out of here. This place is history. We're done. Good way to end. Next stop, Salty Dog.
At day's end, it's always exciting to watch the charter boats unload their catch at the dock in Homer. Here, fish are carefully weighed and measured, and information is passed along to fish and game biologists to help them assess the health of the Cook Inlet halibut populations.
Looks like 100.
Now for the final steps. Watch skilled crew members wield razor-sharp blades as they prepare your delicious fish for the freezer. And take a few pictures of the biggest fish to admire during the coming winter. Starting in late May, the pilgrimage begins. First, it's a trickle, then a stream, and by July, it becomes a torrent of vehicles. The pilgrims crowd every campground, parking lot, and roadside turnout. Shoulder to shoulder, they gather along riverbanks. They ply the emerald current in all types of craft. May through July is king salmon season, and Kenai River kings are the biggest salmon on earth. As the morning catch comes to the scales, excitement fills the air, along with a few other potent scents. The record king salmon was caught on this river. It tipped the scales at a whopping 94 pounds, 4 ounces. Every year, guides tell stories about even larger fish hooked and lost. At 6 a.m., river guide Jason Sintek prepares tackle for a morning's fishing. A big gaudy spin and glow is a favored lure, and when regulations allow, the offering is sweetened with a gob of carefully cured salmon eggs.
We're just going to go up to the hole.
Typically, kings spend 4 or 5 years at sea, feeding and growing before returning to the Kenai. After a short run upriver, we arrive at a place known locally as the Slide Hole. Jason positions the boat broadside to the current, then lets it drift sideways down the river. Fishing weights are carefully selected. Too light, and they pass over low-lying kings. Too heavy, they snag the bottom. When a king grabs the lure, don't be timid. Experienced king fishermen strike back hard, then hang on. Clydeen Black of Kenai has the right idea. Not many freshwater fish bend a heavy graphite rod like a Kenai king. Our first look when the fish breaks the surface shows it to be a good one, 50 pounds or more. It will be a long fight. Fish with this kind of muscle never give up easily.
You just tell me when you want to do something.
When he gets tired, he'll let you know.
Oh.
He'll come up and lay turn sideways.
capable of straightening a tough 3/0 stainless steel hook. These beasts are so powerful it's nearly impossible to land them without wearing them out. And for anglers, tired backs and aching arms are the usual price of victory.
It's brought me to my knees.
Are you as tired as a fish?
Netting a big fish is something of an art, and guide Jason handles this critical process expertly.
Just walk him in. Walk him in. Got it. There we go, guys.
A net full of big king salmon swinging aboard is a thrilling sight for even the most experienced angler.
Okay, you got it?
Yeah. Well, I barely got it.
All right.
This chrome bright 52-pound female is fresh from the sea.
Big fat head.
Oh. It's great.
Salmon is always great fresh or when properly sealed and frozen. Alaska smoked salmon is prepared in dozens of delicious varieties. The riches of Alaska's waters are world famous, and creative new preparations promise even wider markets for this abundant resource. Adventurous seafood lovers seem willing to try almost anything.
All right.
Like many southeastern communities, Alaska's capital city, Juneau, stages an annual fishing contest, the Golden North Salmon Derby.
Okay. Let's hit it. It's worth the 3 days of fishing.
Playing hooky on Derby Friday, the first day of the 3-day contest, is a local tradition. Before heading out on the water, Ken Parker and his son Lauren pick up Derby entry tickets, a necessity for all who wish to compete for this year's $12,000 first prize.
Go ahead.
It's never too early to learn mariner skills, so Ken takes time to share his knowledge with Lauren.
Okay, I'll give it some throttle. Find some fish, Lauren.
All right.
Yeah, fishing must be good.
When trolling for salmon, many anglers use herring cut to rotate like a fishing lure when pulled through the water.
Son, this is a plug cut herring that we're doing here. We're going to take the heads off. This will give it a nice spin so that salmon will think it's a wounded herring and an easy mark and want to eat it. Yeah, just like that. Double trouble. Lauren, we got to catch some fish. It's time for the chant.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. Une, ane, ate puanima. Une, ane, pow! Fish on!
Woo! Woo! Ow, woo, woo!
All right. Be gentle with it.
Whoa, line burner, baby! Uh-oh. Woo! Woo!
Oh, it's a nice king.
Ow!
Like most salmon hooked in salt water, this fish is in prime condition and full of fight.
Well, there he is. Whoa, look at him splash. Woo!
No newcomer to salmon fishing, Lauren uses all his skill to control this feisty king.
Try to lift him back over towards me.
Holy cow, that's the biggest fish I've ever
right.
seen. Yeah! Woo!
Look at this king.
Oh, baby!
Say hi.
Hi! Bye! Woo!
Very nice, Lauren. You did great work.
Thank you. Yeah. Remember, let's keep our limit. 6.
Give me 5.
3.
All right.
Ow. Baby.
Good work. Let's weigh him.
It's a bright 19-pounder, typical for these waters around Juneau Derby time, and a special reward for a proud young angler.
Nice king.
Man, that puppy's a big sucker.
Yeah. One more time. Une, ane, ate, puanima. Une, ane, pow! Where are them fish? They're gonna be here any minute now. Dad gets to catch a fish? Whoa, all right. I like that. I like it. Okay.
They're both in, Dad. Both poles are in.
Okay, great. Well, son, you mean you're really gonna let me land a fish? You know these guys, you don't want to pull them too hard or you can pull the hooks out. So you just have to wait for them to kind of come with you a little bit and then make some gains.
Many of these fish will strip out line 3 or 4 times as they head for the
Maybe I
bottom.
can go down deep and
Patience and a deft hand on the drag are the key to subduing these strong fighters.
all right.
Woo!
Whoa, look at that dude.
Sometimes an angler's reflexes need to be sharp. Here, Lauren has to reel quickly as a hooked fish charges toward the boat. By reeling fast, he keeps the line tight so the fish can't shake the hook.
Whoa, that's a nice king. Could be a coho. Yeah, nice big coho.
Oh, man. That
When it's close to the boat, he works the rod to keep line and fish away from the propeller.
There you go. Doing some flips in the water.
Hang on.
Yeah, this guy's already tired out.
Yeah, who's tired out? Let me adjust the drag a little bit.
I don't think he's a very big runner here.
Okay.
Alright, let's bring this mama in.
The flash of a coho or silver salmon is a welcome sight.
Nice big coho.
Silvers have a reputation as explosive fighters, famous for aerial antics and blistering runs.
Who said he's tired?
I don't know. No clue.
These are. Whoa. Nice coho. Nice looking fish. You're doing great. High five.
Ow! There we go. About.
Let's see what we got here. We got 15 pounds.
Okay.
Okay. Nice fish.
Here, I'll hold him.
Okay. Okay.
At the end of a productive day, everyone heads back to port to weigh their catch.
Okay, Lauren, would you throw out the bumpers in the back there at one?
No problem.
Great.
A small crowd develops at the Derby weigh-in scales. Radio stations broadcast Derby leaders throughout the area.
Anything you want weighed?
Yes.
All right. You want to hand that out to me right away? How many do you have altogether, do you know?
So one weight.
How many fish altogether?
After weigh-in, many anglers donate salmon to local charities. Some are even sold to raise money for college scholarships. Ken and Lauren finished out of the money today, but that's not the point. A father and son renewed their bond, one generation passing skills to the next. These are the real prizes won during this exciting day of fishing. Tens of millions of sockeye salmon, also called reds, surge into the river systems feeding Bristol Bay. Traditionally, the red run peaks on the 4th of July. The Alagnak River gets its share of salmon, and a float plane day trip is a great way to explore the upper reaches of this beautiful but remote stream. Wind blows constantly in this rugged, almost treeless land. Here, ancient volcanoes stand watch over a fragile beauty centuries in the making. Remote streams face little human pressure and afford great fishing opportunity. Heath Lyon and his father split up early, hiking the game trails in search of a good fishing area.
We'll be using coho flies for the sockeye, which run in various colors, more or less. I'm gonna start out here with this pink and white one, and we'll try to find out which ones they're going for today. Right now, I'm going out here trying to, first of all, spot the sockeye. Try to look either for fin or using polarized glasses to look down into the water. There's a few in here.
Sockeye salmon migrate up the rivers in tight schools, and in the Alagnak's clear water, they're easy to spot.
Okay. You gotta keep it deep in front of them. Every once in a while you'll get some that come up and really bite it. The other ones you gotta put it right in front of their face for them to come out after it. So you wanna kind of get upstream to let your fly get down to them.
Sockeyes can fight wildly, especially on fly tackle.
Looks to be about three or four pounds maybe.
When the bank is not steep, many experienced anglers choose to beat salmon by carefully skidding them ashore.
Right, and a nice little bright fish. There we go. There's one. Now for the rest.
Sockeye fishermen often speak of getting into some fish. Usually where there's one, there are many more.
Oh, another one. It's a lake trout.
Throughout Alaska, many fish species, trout, char, and even grayling, follow salmon runs in hopes of feasting on their eggs. This lake trout has moved down the Alagnak to follow the sockeyes.
Yep, I'm gonna release him. This is a nice lake trout. Let him get a little bigger. Away he goes.
Throughout the rivers of the remote Bristol Bay region, you might be the only fisherman around for miles. Or you may have a bit of company. Concern for the safety of her 3 cubs will keep this grizzly sow at a respectful distance. Heath keeps a watchful eye on them just the same. There are countless tales of bears hijacking a lucky fisherman's catch, but this sow chooses to employ her own favorite fishing technique. And the curious cubs are never far behind. These bears fish the opposite bank for hours on end, but they aren't necessarily the most successful fishermen today.
Got one.
The day's fishing is nearly ended, but there's still time to hook one more fish. No surprise when early July days are bathed in 20 hours of daylight. The drone of the de Havilland Beaver signals quittin' time to fishermen all over Alaska, as it has for decades. Another day of fishing comes to a close as the floats lift off the water and we head for home. In the heart of Alaska's interior, just south of the Arctic Circle, lies Minto Flats, a 400-square-mile maze of small streams, marshes, and lakes. Fairbanks bush pilot Bob Elliott has been taking fishermen to this area for many years, and he knows it as well as anyone. Whenever fishermen travel to the Alaska bush, in part they seek the feeling of being dropped in the middle of a vast wilderness. At Minto Flats, it's soon apparent that this is one of the most remote, uninhabited areas in North America. For Carl Butz, there are few things better than spending a hot summer day fishing for aggressive northern pike.
I probably come out 4 or 5 times a year to pike fish. Pike in this area get to be up to 20 pounds, but the average fish you catch is 5 to 8 pounds. Lots of those. I catch them mainly for sport. Eat 5, 6 of them a year is about all. Use these floating minnows is one of the things we use. Other than that, daredevils. You can see how they scar it up, take the paint right off. They have real sharp teeth, razor sharp. You have to use steel leaders with them because they cut the normal line. They seem to damage the steel leader pretty good too. Mosquitoes are the worst thing, all the bugs in this area, but there's two main ones, the mosquito and what we call the no-see-um, which is a little gnat. It is probably going to need a little sunblock today and some sunglasses. It's 80 degrees now. It's expected to be about 90 before the day's out. Well, got a little one on right now here.
A few casts is all it takes to hook the day's first fish.
These things are vicious enough that I've had little ones this size come in with big ones following them, trying to take chunks out of them as they come in. They don't mind eating each other. There goes Bob. Probably Bob's 1000th trip. Lost it. Wait a minute, he'll try it again here. He's chasing it. See him chasing it? Come out right out of the water to get it. That's a little one. Catch a lot of little ones during the day.
Every pike fisherman needs a good pair of needle-nose pliers for removing hooks from a toothy pike's mouth.
Fight the jaws of death. Off and running. Things shed their teeth every year. Grow new ones, and in June when you come out here, they're little razor sharp things. And just to pass by them, will cut you like a razor does, a real fine cut. So you learn to keep your hands away from their mouth as much as you can. See if we can come up. Yeah, you have to reel fairly fast to keep, mainly keep your lure from going to the bottom. In this case, it's a floating lure. You don't have to. It seems like no matter how fast you go, they always seem to be able to catch it. There's one right there. Still a little small for the normal fish we catch in here, but a lot bigger than the last one I got a hold of. Didn't even have to unhook that. It's either a nice one or he's tangled up out there. Jump in the boat with us. Got nice color to them though, don't they? All about the same size in here today, aren't we?
Pike take lures readily and are lightning fast, a quality that makes them great fighters, but dangerous to unhook. So keep those pliers handy at all times.
A lot of spunk in this little one.
The long summer days make interior Alaska an ideal breeding ground for myriad creatures. As the sun swings slowly across the Arctic summer sky, the lazy stillness inspires dreams of another time when life was a bit slower, a day well spent. In early October, as cooling temperatures wrap fall color across the landscape of Katmai National Park, anglers dream of rainbows. Fly fishing guide Nancy Morris is an expert when it comes to finding big rainbows.
Yeah.
On this blustery October morning, she's brought a few clients out to one of her favorite Katmai streams.
Trey, we'll have doubles here.
Hey, you can be the star this year.
Yeah, beautiful fish. Look at him. Whoa, look at the color on him.
It takes more than a decade to grow trophy rainbows in cold Alaskan waters. That's why most guides encourage catch and release fishing.
Okay, little guy. Yeah. Too cool.
It's nearly impossible to backcast in high winds. Fishing author Trey Coombs turns gusts into an ally.
fish boiling all the way on the other side on this cut. Totally barbless. There we go. That was quick work.
Anchorage angler Chris Natenstead has flown in for a few days fishing. It doesn't take long to hook a small, strong rainbow.
What did I do? I get it all red? Now I can see why you get
The line cuts across the stream's surface, and the fish runs for safety toward the deeper water of the lake. Subdued fish are handled gently until released to fight again. The only trophy is a photograph.
Okay, that's one for posterity purposes. Nice, okay. Put it down. See how his eyes are lit? That double egg pattern worked good for us on the other end, so I'm gonna take the chance. You don't know until you try. This wind, you get your line automatically mended. There we go. Yeah.
All right.
This is what we're after. See ya. Look what he did to my fly, man. He ate it. He busted off the rabbit tail that was on there. He chewed off all the mylar on the body, clear down to the lead. Annihilation is what you call this, by an Alaskan rainbow.
The beauty of this area is legendary the world over, and die-hard anglers will fish the frigid currents for hours without rest. But there is more to Katmai than its fabulous fishing. Katmai is also the largest preserve set aside for giant Alaskan brown bears. Their sign is everywhere.
Asking Nancy whether I need a telephone. He's got to do what I got to do.
Bears seem to be on every shore and around every river bend. When a bear starts walking toward you, the natural reaction is to run. But that's exactly the wrong thing to do. Instead, make noise to get the bear's attention. Bears are naturally curious, but when given the option, they tend to keep respectful distance from humans. Changing locations will likely produce more great action. Fishing is spectacular throughout Katmai's system of lakes and rivers. It's no big secret. Where there's bears, there's fish. A spawned-out sockeye salmon is also a good sign. Big predatory rainbows may be nearby, feeding on their eggs.
It's a white zonker. The body is lead, and then over the lead I've wrapped a flashaboo, a type of chenille. And then at the head I have a couple turns of hot pink chenille. Now maybe that looks like an egg in the water to the fish, and maybe the rest of this thing looks like some part of a decaying sockeye, I don't know. But it seems to be an effective fly. It's certainly done well for us today. You can see there's no barb on that. Yeah, the rod I'm using is a Sage travel rod, 4-piece, 6-weight. And the line I'm using is a Teeny 200. That's a 28-foot sink tip. It goes down pretty quick. Got him!
As the author of many books and articles on trout fishing, Trey knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. A lot smaller than the other one. Little guy.
He finds the remote waters of the Katmai ideal for his special brand of research project.
These are the strongest rainbows. I don't think this fish will go 15 inches. What a little load. Oh, these beautiful fish. It's gorgeous, Nance. There. There you go. And a beautiful fish. These are lake-run fish that have come out of the lake. They're just like, actually like ocean steelhead. Chrome bright and hard as a rock. Nothing like some of the warmer water fish. Oops. This guy's. Look out. Can you look at that moose and say it's probably got a 65-inch spreader?
The peak of the moose mating season, or rut, occurs around the 1st of October and provides an unexpected encounter.
Yeah.
This trophy-sized bull seems oblivious to human presence as he wanders in search of receptive cows.
I don't know if it'll stay on that long, but I wanted a picture of one of these chrome bright fish. You're not going to break the leader. This guy's getting real tired. Like that. Beautiful lake-run chrome bright fish. These fish are always released. I don't know of any guides up here that would kill one of these fish. They're magnificent. Ah, this guy's in my backing already. I think this is going to be a good fish.
The scenery is spectacular this time of year, especially with a rainbow trout at the end of your line.
Oh yeah, this is a beauty. Just take take the line here, and if he pulls really hard, just let him go.
Okay.
And we'll see if we can get a... Boy, he's awful celery, Nance. Look. Whoa! Yeah.
Careful handling of Alaska's large wild trout and other fish species like this beautiful Arctic grayling assures us the chance to enjoy quality fishing for generations to come.
Thank you very much.
As part of the annual migration, a pair of tundra swans passes by on powerful wings. It's a sure sign of the approaching Arctic winter. For these sport fishermen, the season is also coming to a close. But what a finish. Feeling the crisp autumn air, a fly line dancing on the breeze like a graceful ballet. The perfect ending to an Alaska sport fishing adventure.